What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the cat in the cap, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo, StarArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. And welcome to another Discourse in Dress, having some expressions for your ensemble and helping you with your sonnets for your style. This week, we're going to be talking all about what style truly is. But before we get started, if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to redesign your frame of mind when it comes to you developing your personal style. If you find this information beneficial, please consider subscribing. I would love to walk with you on your sartorial journey as you let your style speak. If you have already subscribed, then you already know what it is. All you have to do is hit that notification bell, and that way you will be notified every time new content comes out. So, what is style? Now, a lot of guys will say that style is simply the clothes, or I have some style aficionados who will say, clothes don't wear the man wears the clothes. Like, that's all great. That's all, some great content for you to keep inside of your head. But at its core, style is what men are really concerned about when it comes down to their basic levels. And that is sex, that is power, and that is profit. So when it comes to a man's style, generally speaking, it's the reflection of those three aspects of what he wants to promote. So if you've been with me for a little while, you know that I have the quote of Pearl Bender that says, "Dress is the outward expression of a man's state of mind, and it is his attire that tells the world what he thinks about himself." That is style at its base, at its core. It is going to tell you how powerful I think I am. It's going to tell you how sexy I think I am. It's going to tell you how financially secure that I think I am. And because of these different types of things, a lot of fellas misrepresent what their mind actually would be representing because they create a misinterpretation with their dress. So part of the reason why I wanted to have this conversation was because I recently published my book, Style Speaks, 10 Keys to Sex, Substance, and a Signature Style, where I kind of cover all of these different types of things. So please make sure that you click the link and you download your copy. It is a great book, and I guarantee you it's going to change your perspective when it comes to how you view style. But I wanted to give you an insight into my concepts just in this conversation with you. When it comes to sex, power, and money, a lot of guys look at those things very straight on and straightforward, and they miss some of the nuance of what it really means to be sexy, what it really means to have power, and what it really means to actually have money or have wealth. And so we're going to talk about those things over the course of the week more in depth, but I just wanted to kind of set the tone for how we're going to be thinking about these things. The first thing is sex. Now, when you're a teenager, as I may mention last week, if you missed that conversation about how you're going to dress and what you're going to be concerned about, make sure you check the information bar right above us, and that will take you back to that link. But we were talking about sex and being driven by sex. And a lot of guys just look at sex as, the physical interaction.
Try this, because I curve this way.
Oh, curve that way, babe, yeah? Drink. Yes!
Mm-hmm.
Yes!
Okay.
Almost!
Mm-hmm.
No!
Oh my God!
All right.
They forget that sex has so many other components to it. It has a mental component, it has a soulful or spiritual component, and it also has a energy component to it. So before we can even jump into the bed or talk about that young lady taking off her clothes, we have to realize that there's an energy in how we are promoting our presentation. So you've heard the saying that for women, a suit is like lingerie for men, that they find that sexy. And we're going to talk about why they find that sexy in the future, but I want you to understand that from that statement that there is appeal, there is attraction, there is magnetism that is created when you are well dressed. I wouldn't necessarily reduce it to a suit anymore in modern times, but I would say that a guy who is in a suit and knows how to wear a suit is often going to be more attractive, especially in a casual society. So it's about understanding the energy of your sex appeal when you are stepping out. And know this, fellas, that a lot of young ladies are paying attention to the presentation, not just the articles. So if you have a $5,000 suit on, but you don't know how to wear it, then it doesn't make you more attractive than the dude who has the $500 suit on, but knows how to wear it. And he had it tailored and everything is going together in those spaces. So before you think about sexiness so arbitrarily or so literally, make sure that you are thinking about your energy. And that also will lead to the type of women that you actually attract. So when it comes to power, a lot of guys often think that this is something physical. They think that it's literally just being strong. So I've gone into the gym and I've lifted weights.
Further.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. No, a little further. There you go. All right. Euro training. Euro training. That's one.
But then they're mentally weak. So they have no power, and the smarter person is going to get over on the physically imposing person because he understands how to move in those different types of situations. So while a guy may get mad and beat up some other guy who looked like he was the weakling, what happens when that person goes to jail and the other guy swoops in and takes the dude's position, takes that dude's profit, or takes that dude's put? You know what I'm talking about. So in those different types of spaces, it's important to also understand that power is not only something physically imposing, that sometimes we have to have mental power, mental fortitude to keep going and to keep pushing to get to our goals, but also to show restraint and discipline. So when you start talking about power in presentation, that's why we have understandings of power suits. That's why we have these dynamics, because these disciplines are things that we have to literally discipline ourselves on when we are cultivating our personal style. Now, lastly, when it comes to money, we think that cash rules everything around us.
Queen, get the money.
Here we go.
Dollar
Check
bill,
this shit.
yo.
Yeah.
We think that, but in reality, all cash is paper. It's only what we put our value to on it that makes it valuable. So when it comes to the money that you make, I don't care if you're only making minimum wage or you're a millionaire. It's the people who know how to leverage their resources and their finances to get what they need. So again, if you are a guy who understands his budget, then you're either willing to save or you're willing to invest the time and energy that it's going to take for you to find the necessary items that are going to make you sexy and make you look powerful. So for these guys, they may only make $50,000 a year or $20,000 a year, but they always look amazing. And that's because they took the time and made the proper investments into their articles of style and their articles of clothing. So because of that, the return on their investment is much longer than the guy who's making $100,000 or $50,000 or $20,000 who made fast purchases, because it was just like fast money. As fast as money comes, it always goes. But those who are willing to build up on their investment, even when it comes to their image, will always yield higher returns from them. So as I said, we're going to go more deep into that over the course of the week, but I wanted to make sure that I set the context for this clothing conversation. Please make sure that if you found this information beneficial, that you leave your comments with your advice on what it really means to have style, what it means to be attractive, what it means to be appealing and powerful, and what it means for you to gain wealth when it comes to your own personal style. I know that the guys in the community would definitely appreciate the conversation and potentially the advice. Don't forget that we are here every Monday through Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And lastly, please don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind, so you should always dress to express. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.